in the divine law which tells us we must love God and our neighbor. It is commanded that we not only do good but also avoid evil. The greatest evil that can be done to one's neighbor is to take his own life. This is prohibited in the fifth commandment. Other meaning of to kill is it ought to be known that to kill a man may happen in several ways. First, by one's own hand and another by words of mouth. Killing by one's own hand is against charity and against nature. The words of mouth can kill anyone by provocation, accusation, and detraction. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 to 26, Jesus amplifies the meaning of the fifth commandment. He brings out that to commit murder means more than just killing someone. It means having an angry and unforgiving attitude towards him. The first sin against the fifth commandment is suicide. So, what is suicide? Suicide is the act of killing yourself because you do not want to continue living. The moral teachings of the church about suicide are: first, we are not the author or lords of our life. Second is, life is a gift from God. Third, it is a sin not only against God but against oneself. Fourth one is, it is contrary to the just love of oneself. And the fifth, it breaks the ties of solidarity with family.
Contraception. It is any action taken to impede the union of spermatozoa and oocyte before, during, or after sexual intercourse. Literally, it is anti-life. Other terminology used are birth control, responsible parenthood, or family planning. Church moral teachings. It is immoral because it is against the natural moral law in the use of sex, or onanism. It is stated in Genesis 38 verses 9 to 10. Number 2. It impedes the procreative aspect of conjugal love. 3. It opens the way for conjugal infidelity and lowering of morality. 4. Some contraceptives are abortifacient by nature, or life is ready conceived and it is deliberately destroyed. 5. The use of contraception, for example, condom, is not 100% prevention against venereal diseases, especially HIV/AIDS.
The third sin against the fifth commandment is abortion. So, what is abortion?
Abortion is the termination of pregnancy by the removal or expulsion from the uterus of a fetus or embryo before viability.
So, what are the reasons and situations why people commit this sin of abortion? One of the reasons is therapeutic abortion. This is when the continuation of pregnancy endangers the life of the pregnant woman. In the principle of double effect, in order to save the life of the pregnant woman, which is the good effect, we must terminate the life inside the mother's womb, or the fetus, which is the bad effect. The second one is eugenic abortion. This is when the fruit of conception suffers from congenital or malfunctions.
According to the teachings of the Church, the patient has to be given medical treatment to save the life of the fetus.
So the third is psychosocial abortion. It is the termination of pregnancy that is unwanted for social, economic, or psychological reason. However, does not affect the pregnant woman.
The next sin against the fifth commandment, which is thou shalt not kill, is death penalty. Death penalty is about invoking a punishment to a single person in exchange for his own life. There are four major arguments in favor against death penalty. First is the requirement of justice. Justice should be just, human, and humane. Second one is the deterrent of a crime. Still, it is against human dignity if it involves killing the offender. Therefore, it etifies the person involved in this scheme of thought. The third one is the society of self-defense against criminals. This is not an act of self-defense, but a punishment. The moral principle of collective social defense is only applicable in the cases of defensive war. Finally, expiation. Death penalty as compensation for the evil of the crime and correcting the social imbalance of death of a person.
The fifth commandment, thou shalt not kill, simply means not to kill anyone, because life is sacred. No one can under any circumstance to claim for himself one's own life, and anyone that disobeys this rule will be liable for judgment. The reason why God hates murder is that out of all creation, only humans are made in the image of God. But this commandment applies to humans and not to animals. God gave animals for his use, and this does not mean mistreating them.